Africa. Please be welcome. May we all rise as we accept our minister. May we all rise, please, ladies and gentlemen. Morning, Minister. How are you coming, please?
Where do I sit?
Please sit here, sir. I want you to be at the head. Oh, for pictures, yeah. Okay. Thank you. May be seated. Thank you very much. I want to applaud you for your disciplined attitude this morning. I'm going to give you a warm round of applause myself. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to a man who is handsome, a man with wit, and a man with personality. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here this morning because of other commitments. So in his stead, we decided that yours truly will be the MC. My name is Freddie Leketi. You are welcome. As we start the morning, I'd love to do important things first. I'm going to have a safety brief with Paballo Makhalemele. Paballo is with the Sandton Convention. He will just give us a brief about what needs to be done when what happens. Paballo? Where is he now? Paballo, where are you? Oh, here. Okay. I wanted you to sit in front. Thank you, sir. Please, you can speak in the mic, huh?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paballo Makhalemele. I'm the Venue Safety and Security Manager. I am here to tell you briefly about the safety evacuation procedure in case of any emergency. Please remember the following. Proceed to the foyer of the venue where you are sitting by the entrance, and you will find the fire-trained marshals and also security officers that will direct you to our assembly point. Our assembly point is just across the road in Nelson Mandela Square. For the bathrooms, please take one escalator up to level -1. For the smoking terrace, please take one escalator down to the parking. Please enjoy your day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, now it gives me the opportunity and the pleasure to introduce to you our dignitaries. First, I'd love to start with Mr. A. Gupta, who is the Acting Consul General of India in Johannesburg, South Africa. Sir, you are welcome. Thank you very much for your time. And then, of course, next to him, we have our distinguished guest, the Minister. And as I introduce him, I want to also say thank you, sir, very much for coming to spend your time with us. Know that your schedule is very tight. We truly appreciate your presence with us this morning. Minister Tembelani Tulas Nxesi is the Minister of Employment and Labor in the country. Before that, he served as the Minister of Public Works and also as a Minister of Sports and Recreation. Prior to that, he was the Deputy Minister of Education. Minister holds a BA degree and also a Bachelor of Arts a Bachelor of Education from Wits University. He holds a higher diploma in education from UNISA. He's a former teacher himself and was the HOD, or Head of Department in the Department of Social Sciences. He served as an Assistant Secretary General of the South African Democratic Teachers Union. He also served as a President of the Education International, as well as the Secretary of the National Education Union of South Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, may we rise as we welcome our Minister this morning, Minister Thulas Nxesi. Minister. Yes, 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 sir. Yes, sir. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Program Director. The Indian Acting Consular General and the representatives of different participants from a number of countries who are exhibiting here, including the various countries, the special pavilions from South Africa, China, Turkey, Germany, Italy, India, Malaysia, the USA, Switzerland, and Korea, the representatives of various government departments, the Lift Institute, and the various associations, representatives of organized labor, captains of industry, and the delegates who are present here. I must apologize that I have to rush through your program because I have to attend a memorial service at 11 of Dr. Tandindlov, whom I worked with when I was at Public Works for a number of years, given the fact that Public Works is also regulating the whole construction industry. That's where we used to interact. So I greet you all, and my thanks to the organizers for inviting me to participate in this important event and to share some ideas. We are gathered here today at this first Global Lift and Escalator Expo in South Africa. And indeed, it is the first such lift and escalator expo on the African continent. It is befitting to host the expo here in South Africa because South Africa is deemed to be one of the gateways to the continent of Africa. This gathering aims to create opportunities for global players to explore Africa's market potential, engage with the prospective buyers, network with the regional players, and expand businesses to the African continent. It also aims to encourage the local suppliers to enter into partnerships with established manufacturers. And the Department of Employment and Labor, as one of the key participants, supports this expo, as we also believe that this will boost the manufacturing of lifts and escalators in the country. The expo is in line with the mandate of the Department of Employment and Labor. It is also in line with the government's key priority of economic transformation and job creation. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the Republic of South Africa, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, has embarked on a major reconfiguration of the government departments and the entities. And my own department changed its name from the Department of Labor to the Department of Employment and Labor. It's important to emphasize that the core mandate of the Department of Labor does not change, which is to develop and enforce policies to create safe, equitable, and transformed workplaces and decent work. and now to also enforce the national minimum wage, as well as to promote healthy labor relations and social dialogue. The insertion of the word employment into the title of the department flags the priorities of the President and this government, which is growth and jobs. And we all know that the big challenge facing this country now is economic growth, is the massive unemployment. So this needs to be read with the other objectives and the guidelines which were issued by the President, which are transformation, anti-corruption, efficient, effective government, what the President terms the joined-up government, where departments are expected to collaborate and align their activities. No more silos and duplications. Also, the importance of social dialogue and social compact, that all social partners are going to need to work together to invigorate the South African economy. The specific implications of renaming or reconfiguring of the Department of Employment and Labor includes the following. The department will coordinate all government efforts to create jobs and reduce unemployment, and will be required to change its approach from mere compliance enforcement to facilitating job creation. So a much clearer focus on the job creation and providing conducive environment for investment, for growth and employment, which includes a stable labor market and labor relations, the coordination of the government job creation initiatives, leveraging the UIF, that is the Unemployment Insurance Fund, and the CF, the Compensation Fund, those resources to preserve and create jobs. E.g., the UIF assisted to preserve and create jobs, or in the recapitalization of EDCON, saving 140,000 direct and indirect jobs. This came with strict guarantees and a sustainable turnaround plan. We have also launched the training layoff scheme to support the distressed businesses and to utilize our entity, Productivity South Africa, to develop what we call the turnaround. And we are partnering with a number of departments, including higher education, which is meant for us working with the SETAs for training directed to the actual demands of the labor market. And we believe that we will be doing training in relation to the skills for the fourth industrial revolution, the skills in supporting and training the SMMEs, those are the small businesses. So my department is also responsible for compliance with the labor regulations and health and safety, an essential aspect of the lift industry in particular. I said in my budget vote speech that we are committed to appointing additional 200 contract inspectors and an additional 500 occupational health and safety inspectors. An important part of their work is to provide support to you and to ensure the safety of the buildings. An important part of this is the lifts and the escalators. I can tell you, coming from the Department of Public Works, which was responsible for more than 90,000 buildings, we are found wanting as government in this area, especially when it comes to our lifts and escalators. It's a very, very critical area. And this time around, And this is an irony. I was in public works and they were making a lot of noise about issues of health and safety. Now I'm supposed to be enforcing that because I'm on this other side. And I have to be very, very harsh in relation to these issues because I know what are the consequences if we are not taking this very seriously. In order then for these lifts and these escalators to serve us properly and safety, they would require periodic planned maintenance. We must ensure that we appoint competent people to maintain those lifts. Competent people must be continually capacitated as to their roles and responsibilities with regards to the maintenance of these lifts. One of the problems which we have been facing as government in terms of our own buildings, even the buildings we have leased from the private sector, was lack of maintenance when it comes to these lifts. It's a very, very serious issue, this one. And you find buildings which are rickety, which are posing danger, even to those workers. And if something happens, it can lead to serious litigation. That is why then the issue of maintenance of the buildings is very important. Where we say the providers to government, that is those landlords, as much as they are getting money, they must also know their roles and responsibilities. It's not just to make money from government. Maintenance has become the major issue. In fact, most of the international conferences I've attended in relation to the real estate, it's very clear that the issue of the facilities management is the major issue. So they must know that on a daily basis, they carry lives of the people who are breadwinners and members of society in general. People who make sure the wheels of our society and the economy continue to turn. This industry needs to make sure that it is geared up for this fourth industrial revolution that is upon us. Let us use the new technology, automation, digitization, and artificial intelligence to our benefit. And this, I mean the benefit to all. Benefit to all, I emphasize. It's going to be useless to introduce all these things and you leave the mass of the workers behind. They need to be trained so that they are up to scratch, they are up to standard with the new technologies. The fourth industrial revolution will affect all of us. Some jobs will go. New jobs and skills are needed. Therefore, training, retraining and upskilling is going to be required. It's at the center of all the things. You cannot prevent technological change. And this is, of course, has the potential to be very disruptive in the economy or in the economic and social terms. The process will need to be managed. A process which must be led by government but needs to involve all the social partners and stakeholders, labor, business, training institutions. As I move towards closure, I want to say, meanwhile, the Occupation Health and Safety Act in this country is being amended, and this process is at an advanced stage. The lift, escalator, and passenger conveyor regulations were promulgated in 2010. We have also incorporated 13 South African Bureau of Standards into these regulations. Let us all make sure that each installation complies with the requirements of these regulations. We have also introduced inspection bodies which will conduct regulatory inspections on each installation. And I'm told that speakers will be addressing the delegates on technical aspects of the industry, as well as on broader social issues of craning. I hope that you'll find the information valuable. May I also welcome the speakers from abroad for honoring the invitation and making themselves available. My department is also exhibiting some of the services that we as a department render to the public. So I hope that you'll visit the various exhibition stands. Let me also thank the Virgo Communications for organizing this important expo. Keep up the good work. I thank you for attending this first Global Lift and Escalator Expo on the African soil. I welcome and thank the delegates from the neighboring countries, as well as from the continent, for gracing this very important occasion. And I was told that at the end of my talk, we will have to do some ceremonial thing, but I'll wait for the program director to direct me.
Minister, thank you very much for the insights into how government, and especially the Department of Employment and Labor, is committed to working with the lift and escalator industry, particularly the SMMEs. As Minister is going to do a walkabout later, Minister will see the commitment of this industry, including the commitment of Virgo, in ensuring that the SMMEs in the industry are also well represented. Thank you very much, Minister. Without taking any further time, delegates, are you ready to delve deeper into some of the issues that the Minister is raising into your industry? Are we? Good. If you are, I would like to introduce you to somebody who's phenomenally successful, a champion in her own right within the industry, who is assisting us to ensure that the lift and escalator industry is uplifted. Her name is Anita, and Anita is ribbon rather first. Okay. Because of the timing, Anita will come after this. We're going to have the ribbon cutting, and for that, I'm going to invite Minister and all our dignitaries to do all four of them, to do the cutting. Shall we give them a round of applause as they begin to do so?
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Due to lack of time, Minister would like to take a walk of the exhibition, and then he would like to excuse himself. So I request all of you to stay here because we have some more people to speak. So we will take him around and then we'll be right back here. But our program director will continue the program. Thank you. Minister, thank you very much for being here with us. And I thank Mr. Anuj and Mr. Lexiang, who's from China, who's the face of the China Elevator Association. And we thank all of you to be here. And we assure you that we will do our best for the industry from here on. And we expect all the support from the department too. Thank you so much.